Go.
It's hard to breathe with a COVID mask. But compared to the task of trying to breathe with a knee on my neck, what the fuck? We are dumbstruck. A knee on a neck? Go ahead and take a knee at a football game, yes. Whenever you hear that song, that always asks 3 questions. 1, can you see? 2, whose broad stripes? 3, does it wave over the land of the free? Here's the key to the test. The answers are 1, yes, we see. 2, it's the American flag. 3, no, it definitely does not wave over the land of the free. Not until we all take a knee off necks of those we see as others. Not until we all take a knee when we hear that tune. Then take a knee in prayer in solidarity with sisters and brothers. Until then, none of us, not one of us, should be able to breathe freely. Until wrongs have been made right, until we recognize the plight of those who built this country. Not until whites understand the color of privilege. Yes, there are whites who have struggles, who lack opportunity, but not because of their skin color. A day and a night. Can we claim which is more right? The sun shines and we need the light, but we also need night. The earth turns. We do not judge night and day. Why should we judge people that way? Yes, this COVID mask is a pain in the ass, but it's not the pain of having to teach your daughters and sons how to behave with extra courtesy around those who believe the sun shines on every breath they take, on every move they make. Unlike those who hope each day the breath they take won't be their last one, who live in fear that the move they make might be the wrong one. It will be an arduous task to remove the mask of long-held privilege. To those born white, their masks have such a tight fit, some believe it belongs exactly where it sits, as though they created it themselves from a do-it-yourself kit. They think they're without flaw. They don't understand it's the luck of the draw. A black knee bends in protest, and a white knee bends on a black neck. A black knee finally gets an apology, and the white knee gets what remains to be seen. This can't be who we are as a country that professes human rights and equality. Oh, say, can you see? Yes, we can see that flag. We see it sag as it drags itself to wave with what little dignity it has left. It is bereft for brave knees that in protest have bent, for the life it has spent as a noble symbol of this land of the free, only to see tribal lines that rarely blur. When you stir red, white, and blue, lavender appears, the color of a bruise, of brutal abuse. Separate the colors and find more reminders. Red is the blood spilled at the hands of whites, all done with impunity, with a lack of true blue honesty. Of this truth, we must all take note. So never again will there be another white knee on another black throat, or another black body shot in the back, or another hanging from a branch. You must each do the serious work to change yourselves, to change our community. We must co-create a respectful, responsible unity. We must make the change. We need to breathe.
To our black and brown babies of oceans and islands. Bitter, bloody water. White. An elusive spirit. The blood of a bright, twinkling past. Argued and contested with. Peace and equity. Center yourself. Resist. Stolen bodies on stolen lands. The liberation. Our legacies into the future.
To our black and brown babies of ocean and islands. You were born in bitter, bloody water, flowing for 500 years, tainted and weighed down by power and privilege, captured by the American gods of white supremacy. Ooh. In our village of island academics, a diasporic wayfinders, a Moana creatives, white is not a color, it is the lack of. White is an elusive spirit permeating the air, blocking our airways, blinding our own people with hatred of self and of each other. Fear not, for you bear the blood of resistance, of freedom fighters, Pacifica warriors, and oceanic navigators who find their way under the veil of a bright, twinkling past, scattered in the vastness of a beautiful black sky. Remember that creation occurs in blackness. Remember that in our Pacific, gods were made of flesh and blood. They could be argued and contested with, and could therefore be brought down or raised up. American gods are no different. They too can be brought to justice. Their altars can be burned down and make room for peace and equity. But while those gods live, they will smite you and cause you to feel the pangs of inadequacy and mistrust. Center yourself. Acknowledge your mana, the strength of your lineage so great that generational powers of lightness, of brightness, and whiteness will attempt to steal your mana and hold you down. Resist. Resist and rise. Rise like a mighty wave of 40,000 by your side. And as you rise, uplift the voiceless. Bring with you all those who have been held down by that heavy white light of supremacy. March ahead and take active solidarity with your black and brown relatives, stolen bodies on stolen lands. And as you march today, you continue to march alongside our revolutionary past. The Polynesian Panthers of 1971, the Mao movement, early 1900 Samoa. Know that the liberation of Black life in America is the liberation of Black birds of the Pacific, is the liberation of West Papua, is the liberation of all lives that have suffered in the bowels of the serpent of supremacy. Say amen. And in your full power, when all bodies have risen from the ashes, give thanks to the old gods of the natural world. Give thanks to those who have come before you and to those who will journey with our legacies into the future.
Hey! Oh, what the fuck are you doing reading my journal?
It was open.
That don't mean you're allowed to read it.
Sis, what is this? It's kind
What?
of...
What?
It's blasphemous?
Blasphemous? To whom?
To like the church.
The church? Don't you think our Black brothers and sisters getting killed by the hands of the police is blasphemous? Getting killed in the name of God is blasphemous?
People are not getting killed in the name of God, sis. Relax. Besides, this is not even our business. This is a Papalangi and Meauli issue happening in the mainland.
Those words did not just come out of your ignorant ass mouth.
It is. Better not go viral and let grandma catch you being all woke.
Maybe it's time grandma catches me. Maybe it's time we all step up and be woke. Obviously, you don't know shit about anything, and that's the problem. Do you even know what Meuli means?
It's a Black person, duh. We all know that.
It's a Black thing. A Black thing. It's so offensive. People ain't things, sis. It's tangatsauli. Stay woke, bitch.
I didn't create the language, sis. How was I supposed to know that?
Read. Watch a YouTube video. It's common sense, and it's accessible if you're interested.
Well, I ain't.
Obviously. Was it good though?
Heck yes, sis. That was dope.
For real?
I was really into it.
What do you think about this one?
I'm seeing butt crack.
I'm talking about the top.
You're constantly talking about tops.
Bitch, I mean the clothing.
I don't know. I'm still distracted by the butt crack.
There. Now, can I get some feedback?
What happened to the one you had on before?
That should look basic as fuck.
Tam? It's a rally. It's about the signs, not the clothes.
Oh! I can't believe you just said that. Are you okay? It's always about the clothes.
I feel like this one's gonna be special, you know? Like I'm actually glad we're going to this one because we really haven't been there for our trans friends.
What are you talking about? We literally found John a girlfriend and they've been going a full 4 months.
I mean, like more than just playing matchmakers. Like, really showing up, Anyway, I'm getting a really good vibe about it. And that cute boy I like is going to be there, so.
Ooh, how you know that?
Girl, I troll his page heavily.
Which one's this, by the way?
Ugh. I just sent you his pics again.
Don't be giving me no attitude. You know I can't keep up with you and all these crushes. You always... Oh my God. Ooh, ooh. Oh, but honey, apart from all this mandingo-ness, his page is all about the movement. He seems hardcore Black Lives Matter. He like activists on steroids, but that body...
Wait. What do you mean? I mean, we've been in these streets, baby, like every day.
Okay, let's be real. We got woke this year, and that's because of COVID and cabin fever.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Receipts time.
Bring it.
1. We met in an ethnic studies class and went on a deliberate campaign to join every club and group having to do with diversity on campus. Go.
1, when we did become fast friends during that class, we swore to truth-telling, which after a fabulous brownie night, we both agreed that we were in that class because it had the best-looking Black straight men on campus in it, who were also mostly there because it was the class with the best-looking women of color. But I digress. 2.
You don't get 2 until I say my number 2.
Bitch, you ain't got no number 2.
Oh, yes, I do.
What is it?
2. My social media feed, my library of actual books, my streaming record all reflect resources about the intersectional histories and oppressions of the LGBTQ plus people, immigrants, and the peoples of the African diaspora, which sounds like woke to me. Go.
2. Streaming and social media are only steps in the long and winding stairway of the revolution. It takes serious community organizing, planning, bodies and minds on the street, time and money, which none of us have been seriously
Number
until now.
3, the vigil for the Pulse members. We were literally there for 2 days.
We were still in college, coddled, protected.
Coddled? Wait, okay, how does that not count?
Don't you get it? We have not done anything for social justice or Black Lives Matter or any life other than our individual lives since college.
Tam, we needed jobs after graduation. I mean, we were still figuring out what we wanted to do. I still haven't even decided if I'm doing grad school. Like, sometimes activism needs a break.
That is very unwoke of you.
You can't just be go, go, go.
Activism has no time for a break, and we took one. We stopped, and lots of people didn't. And that's why the movement is still so organized and varied, and we can't take credit for any of it. We are catching up right now.
I don't agree.
Oh, come on. We basically started taking up signs like these again last week.
What the fuck?
I know, right? Bold and body. Don't you love it?
Wow.
What? What's wrong? Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Really?
Really?
Oh, stop. It's a statement piece.
No, bitch. The hat you got from freepeople.com that covers half of your apartment is a statement piece. That right there is just plain
Don't you dare say that word to me.
offensive.
Have you met us?
Apparently, after all of this time, I'm just meeting you now.
Oh, please, drama queen much.
How? Ugh,
Offensive is what we do. It's who we are, remember? Oh my God, not the silent treatment. We haven't done this since we liked the same guy 2 years ago. Or was it 2 months ago? And if you remember, he played both of us and we had to laugh it off.
okay, that's not what this is.
You're right, because lately you've been more into Latino dick than black dick.
You really think this is funny, don't you?
Okay, receipts. 1.
Man, fuck receipts.
Okay.
Read the room, bitch. The only person having fun in it is you.
I don't like the way you're making me feel right now.
Oh, I'm curious. How am I making you feel right now?
Why are you doing this?
Why did you make that sign?
I already told you.
You've told me nothing but trash.
Okay, quit this shit. Offensive is all of what our friendship is all about. Hello, remember malicious Mondays in college?
Okay, we're no longer in college. And from what you just said, you clearly agree that that time was malicious and offensive.
Am I on trial?
No, black dick is, and the countless bodies attached to it.
Wow.
Yup, that's exactly what I said when you showed me that sign.
This is not fair.
Oh, okay, so let us talk about what's fair then.
I can't.
Oh, okay, so now you can't. What, you can't take it? Can't breathe?
You did not just say that to me.
Bitch, you better not be heading for that door.
Oh, what? I'm just supposed to stay here and have my friend insult me, rag me, slaughter me over some fucking sign? Some shit that we both get off on? Some shit we both get off on.
Okay, we both do not get off on the same thing.
I have the receipts, bitch.
Yeah, of course you have the receipts. Only according to that sign you just made, the receipts are in my pants.
Okay, wait a minute. Look at me. This is not some white boy you're talking to. Look at me.
Okay, I see you, but do you see me?
Okay, time out. Let's relax. The sign was not supposed to be offensive.
And there it is.
What?
Okay, don't what me. One, do you know what you're doing right now? You're turning into some well-meaning white woman on some ill-informed, ignorant ally shit.
That is so not fair, Kate. That's so not fair. You know me. You love me. We love each other. We are friends. We have cut up over shit. We have said the most offensive shit to each other and to other people over the years and have laughed about it. Remember that time you called me fake ass Latino, can't speak Spanish, and I slammed you right back with fake ass Jamaica Trini that can't dance or speak patois? Remember that? We commiserated over the fact that we never ever felt like we could authentically rep our ethnicities or felt gay enough or queer enough. And now I can't.
You know what I keep hearing from you? Nostalgia. Harkening back to a time when we were younger and we thought we knew shit, but we're not those people anymore. And with everything happening now, we can't afford to be like that anymore. We have to check ourselves. We've been hypocrites, Tim. And I've been too silent about the shit that you say that I've went along with, but that get under my skin, and I've done it for years. And we've laughed about it. But some of that hurts. And it comes back now, and it's fucking with my head now, and that sign, and the fact that you made it. Oh man.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that me making this sign is the worst thing I've done to you in all the years we've been friends?
Stop referencing the past. In this moment, at this time, yes. Yes, it is.
Well, what exactly do you want from me? An apology? Because we said sorries weren't worth shit. Or is that too much in the past? Because you know what? You just changed in the blink of an eye in front of me on frickin' Zoom and forgot to drop the memo. Fuck, man.
Tim, I shouldn't have to explain to you why a sign saying stop killing black dick is fucking problematic and downright offensive to someone that has been my friend for 10 years.
At the end of the day, it's just a fucking sign. I'm sorry, I thought it was funny. I was just trying to lighten things up.
Right, because things are just too damn dark, right? Stay away from dark. Isn't that how you were raised?
Wow.
Yup. That hurt, didn't it? Why? Because I deliberately played on something that I knew about you and threw it in your face? Because it's something that we used to do. No, usually do. But now, because it's not funny, it fucking hurts, we need to stop?
The difference is that you said that shit a while ago, deliberately knowing all my family history.
And you made that sign deliberately ignoring my history. I'll see you at the rally, Tim.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Harry Wong. I'm the artistic director of Kumu Kahua Theater. I'd like to welcome you all back to this little bit of talk story that we're going to have. At the risk of tooting our own horn, I laughed, I cried, I was moved. You guys did astounding work, and I want to thank all the performers for giving us your talent and your time. All the astounding backstage crew that's working with this new form, all the writers, for having the courage to speak to this moment of resistance, and of course, all the producers for giving us a platform in which to try and reach people, to speak to them, to tell their story. I would like you all to introduce yourself to our audience, and maybe if you could think about this question. I know all of us want theater to go back, to the point where people have to leave their homes and sit next to strangers and share an experience and create community that way. But given what we have to do to continue to tell the story of our times, what do you hope for the future in this new form, in this new way that we have to communicate? See, the first person I have on my screen is Vi.
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Vi. I am from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'm at home right now, so I hope there's no noise in the background. But answering Harry's question, I've been out of theater for a while now, but I still see shows when I can, and I still love live theater. So I do hope that we can get back to seeing shows live, because I think that seeing it live is different from seeing it on screen. But I think what we were able to do here today is pretty cool, in my opinion, from just kind of jumping right into it and doing theater on a Zoom call. Who knew? I never even thought this would even be possible. And starting with Kiana and Donna, where we were able to pretend that Kiana and I were in the same room and trying to time everything, was actually really cool. So seeing that we can adapt is a good thing. And but I do hope we can eventually go back to live shows, and maybe even a mix of both. I mean, this is opening doors to a whole new thing, like what we were saying yesterday, right? So I think it's good, but I would, as a theater geek, I would love to go back to live shows, live theater for sure. And I still have yet to see a show on Broadway, so I'm praying that it goes back so I can at least check that off my bucket list. And thank you for having me. Also, thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Donna and Kiki and Kumukuhua and everybody that put this together. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vi. The next person I have is Kiki, the writer of some of our pieces here. Kiki, I just wanted to say, it really made me think about the performative aspect of protest, watching your work.
Mahalo. Mahalo, Harry, and mahalo to all of the producers and all of the amazing artists who have shared their work. I think, yes, I'm Kiki, and I'm coming from Honolulu, Hawaii. I miss live theater, and there's something so amazing about it that cannot be replaced. But I am learning that this space, this online space, is creating a way for us to be more innovative and take our collaborations one step further. Because, as you can see, this is a great demonstration of cross-collaborative, cross-national, international, sometimes creative works, which is amazing. And I feel like this is, why not take this another level and continue these collaborations into the future?
Oh yeah, thank you, Kiki. The next person I have is Alexa Kendrick.
Aixa Kendrick.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's great. Aixa. Hi, everyone.
Aixa.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, wow. I'm definitely, I've always done, I've kind of grew and I would say sprouted from a theatrical space. But I've always fallen in love with all kinds of mediums. So definitely I like hybrid stuff anyway. And I love how this is an interesting opportunity to discover how there can be other forms of storytelling and expand on that. And actually I like the fact that it, as Kiki had mentioned, it's so international. It doesn't, I wouldn't say without a budget, but there's tangibility to it as well. It may not necessarily need $1 million budget, even though it's always cool, but there's ways to make it accessible and interesting. So there you go.
Thank you. Aisha, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Aisha, yes.
Aisha. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about
Stella
that.
would be Aisha.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I loved your guys' scene. It had everything I love about theater, and it is two people struggling to be heard, to be understood, and to understand themselves too. If I can go on to Max La Madrid.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
Max. Thank you, everyone, for viewing and sharing and being a part of it and giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. And yeah, on Zoom, so this is my first Zoom play, first Zoom theater, Zoom anything. And I mean, I was a little nervous at first, just because like clearly like how do you connect with someone the same way when you're not in the room with them and whatnot. But I found that the limitations of this seem to be exceeded by the possibilities of it, because yeah, to like go off what some other people have said, the accessibility factor of it is just incredible. I mean, the fact that no matter, you know, like money, location, these things, you really can, or like ability to, you know, leave your home safely. You can still share art right from where you're at and connect with however many people out there, which is incredible. And then also the fact of how far all the actors and performers and people involved in the creative side of this, like how we're scattered all over, but we get to work together and collaborate in this really cool and intimate way. So yeah, obviously I want to get back in the theater, but I see the benefits to this, and I have a hard time seeing it going away overall.
Well said, Max. Kayla King, I believe you're next. Oh.
Hi, I'm Kayla. And yeah, in terms of Zoom, unlike Max, this is not my first time doing Zoom theater, but it's always interesting how you learn different ways to do things, like in terms of recording Zooms or just performing them live. Like there's just, the possibilities are endless. I do think that it is kind of like, not the future of theater, but I know that it's definitely going to be a compartment or a component moving forward, especially for people who are like, maybe not in the same location. Like we have people from Honolulu and I'm sitting here in the Bronx. Like I would have never thought, you know, that I'd be able to have this kind of connectivity with somebody via theater, via Zoom. I do miss live theater, and there's nothing like it, especially like the energy that you get. But I do see like the benefits of Zoom theater for sure.
Oh, great. Could you remind everybody of your role and who you know in this coalition?
Yes, so I was in the piece March by June, which was written by Juan Ramirez Jr. and directed by Ivan Penn. And I know Magali Coleman Christopher, who is the creator of Conch Shell Productions. And just so grateful to be here and for her to look out for me and help me meet all you guys and put me in this position to be able to perform with you.
You're amazing, darling. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, well done. Thank you very much. Raven Ray.
Hey y'all. I'm Raven Ray, and currently I am in Conway, Arkansas, in my family home.
Amazing. Amazing.
I miss live theater, as we all do, the physical intimacy and the closeness you get with being with everyone, whether it be like with your castmates or just out in the crowd, is irreplaceable. However, I'm very quickly learning, this is my second time working with Zoom performance, that you can achieve that in the digital sphere. And I never thought it was possible. As many have said before me, we're all over the place. People are in the Bronx, people are in Harlem, people are in Hawaii, and we're all here as a family in this moment. And I don't feel like any other time, I mean, maybe some other time, but this particular moment in history is so special because we can do that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Keenan Charles.
Hi. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
No, my name is N. Charles, and I am the director of the Signs of Friendship. Beautiful job to my amazing actors. Woo-hoo. Um, uh, I want to just say thank you to Carl for continuously pushing me. Thank you to Santa. And thank you to everybody for continuously doing theater, coming to theater, and loving theater. I just think it's something that's powerful in whatever form that it's in. But I will give you guys an analogy. Theater is like a plant, right? It starts out in a pot, right? Or actually, let's do elementary. It starts out in a little Ziploc bag, folded up with a piece of like paper towel, right? And it starts to sprout out, and it starts to look really crazy, and then we get moved to dirt, and then dirt is our network, and that's where our stems and stuff like that start to move, and then sometimes that dirt in the pot that it's in gets knocked over. COVID knocked our pot over. So we are now looking for a new pot. We are now at Home Depot looking for a new place to put our theater plant, and we continuously water it with the skills that we have. We continuously cut out all the bad weeds and all those extra yucky stuff and stuff like that, and we're finding new plant. So this is not the pot that we're in forever, but it's the pot that we're in for now. And yeah, I just wanted to leave that with everybody. And I think that
love
it's
that.
I think it's a beautiful thing that we did all of this. You can ask Auntie. I do not like film. I do not like anything screens. I am legit like when I'm directing in person, I'm in the screen like, hey, you guys wanna, right? I'm always doing that. So it's hard to do that on Zoom, but I think we found a way to do that. And I truly and honestly appreciate everybody in this room and everybody watching. Thank you. Thank you for just always finding a way for theater to live.
Yes.
I hope everybody finds their new pot. I hope everybody cuts their weeds. I hope everybody keeps growing their roots.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm going to have to rip off that analogy. And
I love it. I love it.
that was beautiful.
Send me a text. Just let me know what I said because I fully forgot.
Hey, that's how I am too. Santos Calardo.
Collado. There's the
Collado.
pronunciation.
Sorry.
I have no pot analogies, but I will say that just seeing just saying what people have said here. You know, inclusion, I would say, is one big benefit from doing Zoom theater. Being able to have opportunity to do shows that you would normally maybe have to pass out because you're out of town or you're working on another show or you're doing something else. So just being able to still produce work and just flood the world with art. I think it's a great way to maintain the energy that we have and to keep going with our theatrical productions, even if we're not on stage.
Yeah, thank you. Well said. Ivan Unpen. I'm sorry.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody.
Ivan. Ivan.
Yes.
Harry and I have a lot in common. We struggle with names. It's so great to have a partner.
Oh yeah, that's my. Not only that, I mean, I have to take off my glasses and look over there.
No worries. So, hey,
Ivan.
everybody. I just want to open with saying wonderful job to everyone. I laughed. I didn't full out cry, but my little, tear ducts welled up and all of everything in between. So shout out to the writers, the producers, the folks backstage. Let's not forget the stage managers, directors, everybody. Congrats, y'all did it. We did it today. So I'm Yvonne Penn. I directed March by June, written by Juan Ramirez and featuring the lovely Kayla, what's her last name? King. The lovely Kayla King. And it was such an honor to collaborate with those beautiful kindred theatrical spirits. What is my hope for theater moving forward? I am of a little bit of a different, a bird of a different feather, okay? So I love everything that we have created, but I think it's a completely new thing, unique unto itself. I don't even know that we should call it theater. I think that theater artists have found a marvelous way to adapt. This shows that we, no matter what people think, I had a cousin say, oh, how is school or whatever that is you do? And I was so offended. Artists work hard. We are the hardest working folk on the planet. So don't come. Yes, Keena. No, so this is a testament to how brilliant we are, to how hardworking we are, that we are storytellers above everything. Where is Lady Cynthia? She and I were chatting about this the other day, fellow educator. So yes, she was totally accurate when she said above and beyond anything else, we are storytellers. For me, though, when it comes to the future of theater, to me, theater is live, straight up. It is live, and this new thing that theater artists created. We still get credit for that. This thing that theater artists created, I think it needs a new name. And I won't go into the nuts and bolts of my deep theories and everything, but I had a really great time, and this is a really great thing that we have done. It should not go away, but neither should traditional theater. And I'll leave it there. Great job, everybody.
Thank you. Also well said. Cynthia Grace Robinson.
Yes, hello. Hi, my name is Cynthia Grace Robinson. I'm the writer of What If? I love Keenan's pot analogy. Not pot analogy, but his analogy about plants in a pot.
Yeah, that's
that works too.
I love that. I think that we are storytellers, and I above and beyond, I'll say, just like everybody else, I love live theater. I'm a theater artist. But I also, I also think I'm interested in how this is going to broaden our conversation about why we do theater. What are we trying to accomplish? And can that be accomplished through what we're doing here? Can we still touch people? Can we still tell stories? And for me, it's about accessibility. And, I'm still just thinking about that. And I was thinking about the title of my play, What If? What if we're on the brink of just like something brand new? And maybe it's not going to look like what it looks like right now in these boxes. Like, I'm really want to go on record for like generations ahead that it's going to look like something totally different. And so that they're going to look back like 20 years and say, they were so silly. They thought it was going to look like this. It's so much more evolved, So I don't think there's ever any going back. I think it'll be just an addition to everything wonderful that we do as storytellers. And so I think that we will be back on stage. We will continue to tell our stories in wonderful, innovative ways. But this is just going to broaden the conversation. And I'm actually excited about that. I love what Keenan had to say because it's pushing me as an artist. I don't like being on camera. I'm a writer. I like to be behind the scenes all the time. But it's making me come forward and have a voice. And I thank Magali for giving me a platform and sort of pushing me out to do that. And just in terms of accessibility, I wanted to say, just in this moment, if you think about it, this platform is giving us an opportunity to reach people who would not normally be getting the story. So for example, we're in a moment of a pandemic. This is an opportunity for people to get the story. There's still very sick people out there worldwide. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they're at their computers right now and they're getting to hear these stories because, and and they wouldn't be able to. So even if we were on stage right now, they wouldn't be able to go to a theater because they're sick. I mean, I think about things like that, you know? So I'm just thinking about these populations of people that are still going to be with us, people who are disabled, you know, that theater is limiting for people. And as much as, you know, I am a theater artist, I love being in theater, but maybe it's something that will push us when we get back into the live medium to be more inclusive, as one of my colleagues said. Maybe it'll push us to be a little bit more inclusive and think about all our brothers and sisters that we want to tell these stories to. So I'm excited about that. So I think that I'm looking forward to growing like Keenan's plan and putting my, you know, my roots in other dirt, right, Keenan? In a bigger pot. And
maybe an aquaponic plant. You can become aquaponic.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that that's probably what's going to happen, because you can never go back. It's like TV, it's like everything else, you know, but I don't know what we should call it, but maybe we don't have to call it anything right now. Maybe it's just what it is. But I just thank everybody. It was beautiful work. And I just so grateful that I'm a theater artist and I work with people who just always want to dare greatly and keep it alive.
Yes, thank you, Cynthia. What is Faith?
Maybe if I can unmute myself. There we go. Hi, I'm Faith Cawthon. I'm the stage manager for the Kumakuhua Theater. I'm the amazing Donna Blanchard's intern. And I think my hope for theater moving forward is, of course, that we go back to the stage, but that we view this as a tool moving forward rather than a plan B or an alternative to what we've been doing before, because I think there's always somewhere new to go, even if we're not in the midst of a pandemic. And I hope we keep using this to further what we're able to do with the stage.
Yes. Juan Ramirez Jr.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Sometimes I feel so zoomed out, right? But no, I think it's like what everybody else is saying. You got to use it like a tool. I think Faye just said that. I think that's like the main thing, because I've been thinking lately. I'm Juan. I'm from the Bronx. I wrote March by June, and I think for me as a playwright, I start thinking like, you have to write theater that's live, bring people in, and then what is that like to write for people specifically on Zoom, right? People to have that access and write something for them. So that's where my brain's been at. But more specifically, I think I'm looking forward to, with the changes, I don't know if I want to call it changes, but the things that are happening that to make space for everybody. I want to see everybody here on stage, everybody still going. I want to root for everybody, more for people to root for each other, and just making sure that wherever room I'm in, wherever stage I'm in, there's room for everyone. And if not, I don't want to be there. So that's kind of that's been my attitude now.
Well said.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Kiera Baun.
You got it. Hi, I'm Kiera Bowie. I'm the stage manager for Conchal Productions. And I feel like this has been a really great way to support theater, as it will, I'm sure it will come back live. I don't think it can go away. I don't think live performance is something that we could ever do away with. And in times of struggle and strife, we have historically gone to the arts for a chance to learn and a chance to grow. And I think that this is just another adapted element of that. It's just not how we ever saw it being. And I'm really, really grateful to be in the room, even if it's from the comfort of my bedroom. I feel like I'm still being pushed and challenged every single rehearsal, every single time I'm learning something. And yes, the Zoom fatigue is so real, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I am so grateful.
Thank you. Rick Walker. Oh,
you can. I ran away for a second. All right. All right. So I normally perform a lot of comedy stuff, and I do in a slow year, I do at least 100 performances. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm used to being in front of I'm used to being in front of an audience all the time. And so this is a very strange time for me to not have that live connection with an audience. And it's really interesting. And I also teach in a comedy program at Columbia College, Chicago. We have a comedy major there. And so as I was taking my students through the end of the semester in this new normal, as they want to call it, I agree with things that other people have said, especially Kiki, when thinking about the innovation that we are going to have to deal with. And I agree with everyone that says, I hope this doesn't go away, because it is something new and it's something different. There are things that we're getting a chance to do that, you know, that we wouldn't have been able to do. We wouldn't have been able to do this. I'm in Chicago. I think I skipped the whole first part where I was supposed to say, I love Donna Blanchard. I've known her since undergrad. We've known each other since undergrad. And thank you, Marion, for writing the beautiful texts that you wrote for me to speak. And it was really great to get to do a dramatic piece because I don't normally perform in this way anymore, and never in this way, where I get to connect with people all over the country. So I do hope that this sort of thing continues. I do think that the thing that I see, an area of innovation that we will encounter, I think, is a platform like Zoom, but not Zoom, where we can collaborate musically, because I don't think that's really possible right now. Where we have a little bit more control over where people are in the screen, so that I thought it was amazing what Kiki and Vi did in their scene with passing props and that sort of thing. And
that's great.
So I do think that there's going to be this kind of work in the future that we'll be able to take advantage of, even without the feedback of the live audience, which I really miss. I did have one other thought to share. I know I've been going on for a little while, but after this is a little bit of made up history. I'm going to make up some stuff because I don't really know the history. But in the last pandemic, in the 19 teens,
20s, 1920s.
Before, yeah, ended by the 20s, so it's over, right? But then you have the roaring 20s, and things just go nuts, and it's like Party Central, Jay Fitzgerald, and speakeasies, and everything it's a big party. So I think that's what we have to look forward to, is getting through this nightmare into a big party. So I'll see you at the party. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, thank you for stepping in too, last minute. Marion Lyman Mercero. I think you're muted.
Okay, thanks, Mary.
There you go.
And thank you, Rick, for coming in last minute. The actor, I guess, that was originally slated got a pilot and flew away with the pilot. But Rick came in, and this would not have been able to happen without Zoom. I'm in Honolulu. Rick's in Chicago. Donna's in Honolulu. You all are or most of you are in New York City, and I'm just like, I've never even been to Chicago or New York City. This is amazing. It'll be sort of like I'm there vicariously. And so it's very exciting when they shot out that thing. You have 48 hours to write something, and there's these New York City, theaters involved. I'm like, wow, what? Okay. And I just started writing. But to go to Ivan. Her point about live theater is live theater. I had 2 plays that were supposed to go up this year. One at Kennedy Theater, one at Hawaiian Mission Houses. Both of them probably won't go up. Definitely the UH one has been moved to 2022. There were puppets involved, and it's an ocean thing, and kind of hard to Zoom, and the other one is supposed to go up in November, still might, but I'm not sure. So the director, same director for both plays, just said, I'm not a Zoom director. And, you know, he just wanted to be in a theater with people. And as much as we said we would mask and we would keep social distance, the university is not letting it happen. We're still trying to rehearse in small groups, but I'm not sure if that's even going to happen. So the accessibility piece with the Zoom is what's, I think, awesome. But it's a substitute. Those of us who are teachers, and I think there's a lot of us here who are, know that substitutes, yeah, some are good, some, yeah. It's not the same as having the teacher in the room. And so I think Zoom is sort of a poor substitute for live, but it allows for the accessibility that we've had, where I've gotten to see you Bronx people. That is so exciting. So that's just my take on live versus Zoom. I thought you guys were brilliant though. Bravo. Really. And backstage, all the support crew, directors, I can't say enough. And we say in Hawaii, mahalo nui loa for, that's a big thank you. And with my aloha for you all and the work you do in the arts.
Yeah, thank you, Marian. Glad that you're still working. The amazing Veronica.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I got connected to the project through Kumu. I'm in Hawaii as well. To not completely echo what everyone was saying, I just love small, intimate theater, and I am loving the intimacy that Zoom brings. And I really saw that with all the writing this week, was just these amazing intimate moments that the directors did such an amazing job putting forward. And so that's my thing with Zoom, is it gives me that feeling of being in a black box theater, watching these stories that only maybe a handful of people would have seen. And now this can live on the internet, and these stories that you guys just put so much heart into, you know, I can now, which I've never been able, as a stage manager, never been able to do, like, okay, now you can go see my show tonight at midnight when you're done with work, and you can see all these amazing stories that I have the absolute privilege to help come to life. So I will only say positive stuff about the medium, because, you know, we just keep telling stories, and that's what I love about it. So yeah.
Thanks, Veronica. Great job again. And last but not least, is it Anal Rodriguez?
Nancy Rodriguez.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Put your glasses
on. Hilarious. It's okay.
Caucasian pronunciation.
Don't worry. No, last week it was my turn, Harry. Now it's your turn.
Totally fine. I mean, what I usually say, it's like Nancy, but without the N, and it always lands. It's always there. But no, yeah, I'm from the Bronx, New York, so this was it was a project that I was definitely very excited to do, because I was told I'd be doing it with people from all over the country. I'm like, whoa, I don't have to be there? What? And me being a stage baby, like I grew up in theater as on stage, and I was like, that's it, nothing else. Like literally in college as well, it's like, yeah, I don't know about this whole Zoom situation. I'm a theater major, and I have to like roll up vertebrae by vertebrae on a camera. Great, perfect. So coming into this, I was terrified. I'm like, this might not work out. My internet connection sucks. My house is filled with people. But seeing all of these works of beauty, works that needed to be heard at such a dire time, truly, it really changed my perspective of it. Like, as Veronica said, I have nothing else but, you know, positive things to say about this medium, because after watching all of this, it was like, I mean, I truly have nothing negative to say apart from the fact that, you know, I had to kick all of my brothers out from my room because of this. But it was truly a pleasure to be able to communicate stories that needed to be heard, stories that potentially connect to someone across this country, you know, across this nation, across the world, really. So it's truly a pleasure. Thank you all for sitting here, including the audience, for sitting here and watching these stories, sitting through these lives, understanding what it's like to be in these shoes, portraying in a world, or in a world that we in the world that we live in today. So yeah. So I'm excited for this whole Zoom intervention. Nervous but excited, and excitement without breath. So I'm there. I'm there.
Speaking of the audience, do we have any questions from the audience? Kira, Santos, Faith, did you get any questions that are popping up on our pages? Any comments, questions? Because as you said before, live theater, there's a connection with the audience. Well, our connection is via the comments and the questions that we're getting through our Facebook and YouTube pages.
And I will say, it still gives the live theater feeling.
Yes, it is live theater.
What's going on in the background, you know? You know, it looks real clean on screen, but we're all still running around. It's just on computer screens now.
It's live one night, so that's all that counts. It's live the night that we do it. It's live streamed, and if you're lucky enough to be here, you can ask a question. So be here when we're live, and you can get your questions in. Doesn't get any better than that. And how often do you get to see every theater performance ends with question and answers? Not every show, but here we do.
Anybody have any questions?
I've seen lots of support in the comments. No specific questions so far.
Okay. I want to say, well, but before we wrap, that everyone has had to learn that this medium is very, very different. And we had actors talking to masking tape X's on the wall, so it looks like they looked at each other. And my other shoji screens had to leave me. But so it's a stretch for the actors to learn this new field, but so much of what everyone is seeing, what we're doing, is rooted in technology. And our stage managers, Faith and Santos and Kira, have stepped up big time. And Veronica, man, when I called her, she just said, yes, I will learn how to do it. And it is new for every single one of us, how to write for this, how to direct, how to everything. And I really applaud all of you for burning it down. And that was some amazing work.
I endorse that, Donna. And I think it speaks to the moment that we're in and the resilience of our craft and who we are as theatre makers. And this precedence has been set before us already, you know, with Josephine Bacon, Paul Robeson, like in times of stress in their moments, you know, they didn't just sit down, they got together. And I think that's what we have to think about.
Yes.
You know, and I hope that as we make things and this is influencing other people who are here, you go out and write your story, right? There are enough Black women in history that have told us that if we don't see ourselves on the stage or on the screen, then we need to write it.
Right.
Right? And a lot of them have sort of paved the way and have been very badass, and the men come along and do their thing. And then now we have a different generation kind of be like, look, this man-woman thing, we're going to redesign this. We're going to let you know that we have other pronouns, other people. And then, so the racial injustice, that the reason that we all came together to do this thing, it's still out there. So whether we're Zooming or we're back on stage, my hope for the future for theatre is that we do not forget these stories. We don't just simply go back to, let's put on a song and dance number, because even in the human and the lightness, we can still, and even in the singing and the dancing, let's still be purposeful. Let us still have things that say something. I love a good laugh like everybody else. Hence I chose my director. And I have to tell you one quick thing about Keenan, right? If you have never, people who teach, if you have never had Keenan as a student, I had the pleasure of having Keenan as my student. And that's another thing that I love. I love theater that gives opportunity. And I grew up in Jamaica where you pay your dues and you have to pay it forward. And it was my pleasure to hand him this script and be like, go cast it, go do your thing. Because I love him as an actor, but he loved directing. So I said, all right, I'm not going to fight you. Go direct something. Go direct but this amazing man, once he walked into the classroom, I said to myself, my God, here it is. Look at this man. And he's just something special. And I'm glad I could rope him into this. And I'm glad for the people he brought in, and that Magali reached out and said yes. And I have people in Hawaii now. So, get your beds together. I'm going to be checking on you when things come back. And I'm looking at these beautiful faces and this just the power that is in the space, which is not to be underestimated.
The artist is essential. We are essential. Claim our place in society.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that about what you said, Carl. When Magali put her call out, I didn't really think about what the medium was. I thought about what my responsibility was as an artist, and what I could do, what I had to serve. That was my first thing, and I'm just so grateful that I moved through that, and I stayed focused on that. And I just wanted to, what I'm taking away from this is that for opening that we started with all of those names, because that's still, like you said, that's Carl, that's still, and everybody, that's why we're here, right? I know that when we were asked to write a piece, that was what I was thinking about. I was thinking about my heartbreak and why my heart was heavy for all of the people, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, everybody, for all of the souls that are going to continue to be destroyed, right? Lives are going to continue to be destroyed because of the world we live in right now. And if to have any opportunity to chip away at that in any way I could, but my heart is heavy, and I know all of our hearts are heavy. And so I believe that that's why we are part of the reason why we're here. And if we have to have a platform, we have the gift of a platform. This is a platform. It's a voice, and a lot of people don't have a voice. And as a fellow teacher, someone was saying about teachers, I have so many students who are so dismayed because they have so much to say and they're in so much pain and suffering and they don't have a voice. So I just, thank you, Magali, for just reaching out and for helping me to amplify my voice so I can amplify other people's voices for the real purpose. But it's a long struggle.
Yes.
It's a fight because we are, this is another moment in history. So however we can do that, we're going to do it.
Thank you. Thank
you. If I could just chime in on what Carl just said, and it's something that is very, 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 very important. Throughout the pandemic, COVID hit. COVID sent all of our butts to our rooms. And it was like, stay in your room and you can't do nothing, right? And we all were like, okay. And we all sat home and we all just stayed in our room. And you know what it forced us to do? It forced us to be aware of what the hell is going on. Because naturally in life, I get up, I take my shower, I get up at like 6, I take my shower, I leave the house, I put clothes on obviously, but I leave the house and I'm going all day I'm going. And I get home and the next thing I do is just lay my head to rest. But now what I do is I wake up, I go through my phone, I see a killing, I see a lynching, I see, I'm not gonna get emotional about it, but I see all this, I see all of it. I don't have any time for my life to get filled in with people going to brunch or people going to a park, or I'm not at a show. I don't have time. I don't have time to sit down and allow things to penetrate my being. But now it is a thing. It is a time where we have to. So now that these stories are created on Zoom, and now it's so prevalent, it's in the front of our brain, it's in our face all day. We can't, if we were this prevalent and this super focused and this under a microscope, when Zoom wasn't allowed, all these shows wouldn't be on Broadway. We wouldn't see, Hamilton is great, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, all these shows would be on Broadway right now. All these shows would be, Broadway would be black as hell. Black. It would be real black on Broadway if it was this pressing. If I noticed how many knees were on necks, if I noticed all of that, if we saw all of it, and we truly sat down and like really paid attention to it, Broadway would only have Hamilton. We wouldn't have no Dear Evan Hansen. We wouldn't have Shakespeare for the 8 millionth time on stage. We wouldn't have no Shakespeare in the Park. It would be Brother Man in the Park. We wouldn't have any of it. It's true. We wouldn't have any of these things. We would honestly have stories being told because everybody's eyes are on it, because we have time and we're paying attention, and it's in our face and we're being forced to really pay attention to these things. So hopefully, I'm not going to say hopefully, I'm going to put it in the universe, when the rest of the world is on the same time as us and we start to really pay attention to these things, and these stories are overflowing and they're practically writing themselves, and they're honestly falling out of the book and just falling onto a stage, then we would have a different world. Then Zoom would have been like, you know what? Zoom, we can put Zoom to the side for now. Now we got some real work. So I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm putting it in the universe that we're gonna have a different like energy coming from the theater world. I'm just sorry, I got real like Malcolm X for a second, but I just had to get that off my chest.
You feel better now? You feel a little lighter? You feel good? You feel good? All right now. All right now. All right, you preached. You preached. And at
That's
this
my
point,
dream.
that's
You
his
are
dream.
speaking
So
my
you have
dream.
two dreamers that just came together from across the oceans, and that's what we're talking about. And I want this conversation to keep going, but we've got to
Oh, yeah,
wrap
me
it.
too.
We've got to wrap it, people. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's maybe have a couple of Zoom calls on the other end, but we've got to say goodbye to this audience. Not goodbye. What is it? Aloha.
Aloha.
Which means
Aloha.
hello and goodbye. So aloha to this amazing
We
audience.
have credits after the show, so audience members, please stay tuned for everyone's credits, and then support us all at each of our individual websites. And
Support with donations.
Yes, please donate.
Let me get
on the
real.
website. And we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
everyone.
Thank you very
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Big heart.
Miss you.